Hey, SEGways! That's right, I've never watched Ghost Hunters before. I'm sure many of you who are well into the paranormal are probably thinking, what kind of a bloody idiot makes a YouTube channel around the paranormal but hasn't even seen a show as massive as Ghost Hunters? And this could be a fair point, so let me explain. Ghost Hunters first aired back in 2004, and I was in my early 20s around then. I was well into the paranormal as a kid and a teen, but as I entered my late teens and 20s, it became less about ghosts and ghouls and more about ghouls and girls. I just lost interest in the paranormal, and it didn't really come back to me till I settled down and became the boring old git I am today. So when the show first aired, Ghost Hunters just kinda passed me by. I don't even know what channel it would have been on in the UK back then. So today, since I'm well in the paranormal again, I decided to watch Taps for the first time. So this will be Season 11, Episode 13, The Rockwood Museum in Delaware.
Delaware? Hi, I'm in Delaware.
Before we kick things off, I have to thank all of my wonderful members and patrons for your continued support. Many may be suspicious that I'm covering Taps now because Beardo had Jason Hawes on a live stream just last week. But I promise you, I'm not jumping on a bandwagon here. My vote, which had Ghost Hunters in it, went up way before Beardo announced his live stream with Jason, and Ghost Hunters were the clear winners of this vote. So if you wish to get involved in my next vote, please consider becoming a member or a patron. The link is in the description. What I find interesting about not watching Ghost Hunters in the past is that I am not starstruck by Jason like some others seem to be.
What's going on, man?
Well, that voice.
Oh, Jason, that voice. Yeah, that's what you get for calling me a posh twat.
Beardo, shut up. You talk more than the side-eye guy. Nobody talks more than that posh.
Yeah, no.
I know you didn't actually say twat, but I could tell that's what you wanted to say. Anyway, I'm able to watch this Ghost Hunters episode without nostalgia clouding my judgment. But there are a few things I best clear up before I start my video. Firstly, even though I have not watched Ghost Hunters before, I am aware of Jason Hawes. And I am genuinely shocked that he's heard of my small channel as well.
Right, guys, thanks very much. Being 100 year Jason, Ghost Hunters won my last vote. Did the vote before I knew about this live, just saying, so we'll be doing a video soon. Well, it's so funny you think he is then.
Well, you know what? Hey, whether he's poking fun at me, poking fun at others, he does it professionally and he does it. I mean, he's got a funny way about him. Bottom line,
I certainly didn't see that coming. Oh, and by the way, I had no idea Jason was part Oompa Loompa. Anyway, as much as I appreciate the flattery, I'm not going to let this influence my opinions in this video. But after watching the live stream between Beardo and Jason, it's hard to finish that and not think that Jason is a decent guy. I'm not going to get into the reasons why Jason struck up a friendship with Beardo, but I will say that both these guys showed a lot of maturity and character that I cannot help but respect. When I hear Jason say things like this, it's hard not to agree with the guy.
we might not agree on everything, but we can respect each other. We can talk to each other civilized.
I think I've also got to address the elephant in the room here. Jason's daughter, Satori Hawes, or Katori. I know a lot of people are angry and even disappointed with Jason due to the actions of Satori and the way Jason has handled the whole thing. But I honestly think this is unfair. That's his daughter. I have a daughter. She's still a kid, so I don't yet know what it's like to parent an adult. But even still, I know for a fact that I will always do everything in my power to protect my kids. Now I have to admit, the likelihood of Cody and Satori ever convincing me that their ability is legit is about as likely as me receiving a Christmas card from Twin Paranormal. But we cannot realistically expect Jason to humiliate his own daughter by saying she's a liar. Satori really has put Jason between a rock and a hard place here. We cannot expect anything from him on this really, and even Jason himself outright says that he is biased. I mean, of course he is. Anyway, I'm not going to bring up Cody and Satori again in this video since I'm frankly fed up with them hijacking so many videos. And like I said in the one and only Katori video I've already made, I'm just over it. This is a Ghost Hunters reaction video, and it will stay that way. And just one last thing about my opinions of Jason before I do get stuck into the video.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it!
Not everything Jason has said and done I agree with. There was some history between Mythos Paranormal and Jason just a little while ago, and I am not here to drag all of that up again since it's got nothing to do with me, and from what I understand, the two of them have settled their differences and deleted the videos they made about one another. But in one of the video responses Jason made about Mythos, he said Mythos' real name, when Mythos goes by Mythos and Mythos alone on YouTube. Jason, I genuinely hope you enjoy your time on YouTube, and I really am glad you've come to YouTube. And I hope I see more of you on this platform, but I also hope that you've learned from this mistake, and saying someone's real name when they do not wish to go by their real name on YouTube is a big no-no. As someone who values his privacy online, this really did rub me up the wrong way. But Jason does seem like a nice fella, so I'm not going to hold this against him. So finally, on with the video.
Here we go. Look at this place. Look at this. It's like spooky the way it just pops up. Yeah, this is wild.
Yeah, that is spooky and wild the way the building just pops up. If we start the video off with over-dramatizing driving around a bloody corner in the road, we might be in for a very long video.
Tabs case, Rockwood Museum, Wilmington, Delaware. Resident Evil.
Welcome to Rockwood.
How are you, sir?
Thanks for having us.
Pleasure. Nice to meet you.
Yes.
Wow. This place is beautiful. It really is. So what's some of the history here?
The place was built by Joseph Shipley in 1854, and he was born to a very wealthy family in Wilmington, and he went to Liverpool, England.
Must do my best not to make a Scouse joke.
Spent 30 years there and made lots of money.
He stole lots of money. Sorry, Liverpudlians, I couldn't help myself.
He actually lived in a place over in Liverpool called Wyncote.
He stole that house too.
So now, there's been claims of paranormal activity here for a long time.
Yes. I've been here for 14 years, and when I first got here, there have been many stories about people who worked here.
Anyone else thinks this guy looks a little bit like Leslie Jordan?
They had strange things happening. The doors opening, closing, hear footsteps. I go over and, hello? 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 Is anybody here?
There's been a lady in white seen in the winter garden area of the house.
There's always a bloody lady in white. She gets around these haunted houses more than a joint at a Snoop Dogg family reunion.
There's been a man in black.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash.
With slicked back hair, who was walked right across the landing up there. That's been corroborated by more than one witness.
We are doing a special exhibit called Victorians and Spiritualism. And that's one of the reasons I wanted you folks to come out here.
Okay.
We're talking about crystal balls and Ouija boards and these things. Very, very popular in the Victorian era.
I mean, the Victorians were a weird bunch. They were also into eating the remains of Egyptian mummies. So let's not get too bogged down with their practices and beliefs.
So what I would like you to do is to confirm one way or another if there is any real paranormal activity happening.
So it has come to this.
So we got a lot of ground to cover, though. Yeah, a lot of rooms. Start setting up as many cameras as we can and get going. All right, let's do this. Let's get cracking. All right, let's have some fun. Come on.
So the TAPS team divide up into pairs for the investigation, just like the setup of a bad horror movie.
Now, hold on a second there, mister. We're going after some creepy ghost person, and you want us to split up?
So, let's do some ghost hunting.
All right, well, let's get the lights out and we'll do it.
To be fair, that all looked pretty cool.
This is KJ and Dustin, entering Rockwood Museum, heading upstairs. Ready down the hallway? You want to play hide and seek?
Ah, you found me. Okay, your turn to hide.
All right. Is there anybody up here with us?
No!
Did you move something in that room? Sound again.
We're curious. We understand that there's someone up here. Can you go other places? Dude. Whoa. Hey.
I obviously wasn't there and blah blah blah, but I can't help but think the fella standing furthest away from the camera just bumped the door with his heel. Or I suppose it could be a gust of wind from the other side of the door. Or it's a ghost. Yeah, sure, why not? More interesting than the door shuttering is this guy making this weird noise.
Whoa.
Like the fella's doing his best Shaggy impression.
Wow!
Whoa.
Wow!
Whoa.
Wow!
Whoa.
That door just opened, like, I'm assuming there's some type of knob or something.
Well, yeah, there's a door handle right there. On the door, exactly where you'd expect a door handle to be.
I'm not even sure. I want to know what's behind it.
It sounded like something turned the door and opened it. Wow, this place is crazy.
Holy moly.
You're not going to, I don't know, open the fucking door to see what's on the other side? In an attempt to see what may have made that door abruptly shake?
Listen, we're not going to invade your space.
We don't mean to be disrespectful.
Oh, fuck right off with this bullshit. You'd rather be respectful to an invisible ghost than to do your job as an investigator and to see what made that door move. Also, just because the door shuddered, how can you possibly interpret that as meaning the ghost doesn't want you around? I mean, just because it shuddered, why does that make you think you shouldn't go in there?
That does not make sense.
Do you know what I mean? That's just so weird.
That moment right there for us was absolutely spectacular. When you have moments like that going on, you really have to be careful. We don't want to just go rushing in. We don't want to go guns a-blazing in there because we don't want to push anything out. We also don't want to put ourselves in a situation that puts us in harm's way. So we stop.
I promise you that I've not cut any key information out here. They don't explain what could possibly put them in harm's way by opening this door. Anyway, on to the next pair, and I hope they do a better job than these two who seem to have entamophobia. Entamophobia is the fear of doors. Yeah, that's a thing.
They're saying they're seeing shadows darting back and forth through hallways like this, left and right, up and down.
Inside out, roundabout, topsy-turvy, bloody shadows everywhere.
It smells like dryer sheets, doesn't it?
It does. Look at you using that nose.
I have a hyperactive olfactory sense.
You have a what?
A hyperactive olfactory sense. Like I smell stuff like before anybody smells.
Me too, especially for bullshit.
Hello? People claim to see you down here. They just say that you look like a dark figure, almost like a shadow. I keep hearing something that sounds like voices, but it's down here. I think it's this. Wow.
Is that crazy?
Wow.
Is that crazy?
That sounds like a howling ghost. Yeah. That's crazy.
I wonder what that is. It's like a water pump?
I don't know, but it's a ghost maker.
That's pretty creepy.
Well, these two did a lot better than the last two. They actually investigated and debunked the weird noises they heard. Next, we're shown the two female ghost hunters investigating.
My name's Sam, and this is Rachel. Hi. Mary Bringhurst, are you here? We know you died in the house.
That's about as much as the lady investigators as I'm going to show because honestly, nothing really happens. But I'll give the show this. I'm not bored. I'd say the three big paranormal investigating TV shows would be Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures, and Most Haunted. And I'm sure most of us can agree that Ghost Adventures and Most Haunted are entertaining, but mostly because they're so ludicrous. With the ridiculous antics of Zach Bagans from Ghost Adventures getting possessed most weeks.
Me?
Yeah, I said you!
Whoa. Stop, dude.
Get out of here!
And of course, who can forget Derek Acora from Most Haunted?
Don't you like women?
See your breasts.
Yeah, don't you like women?
Once.
You don't like women, do
You see your breasts.
Yes, I do, yeah. Hmm?
Look at that.
But Ghost Hunters has the ability to keep the audience attention without resorting to silly bullshit antics. I know I've made a couple of jokes, but for the most part, Tap seems pretty level-headed. Well, you know, as level-headed as you can be hunting ghosts. Anyway, up next, the show jumps to Jason Hawes himself, showing us how it's done.
If there's anyone here, my name's Jason. These are my friends Steve, Rachel, and Jonathan.
Eddie, we've seen a lot of pictures of you. I can put this down on the table then.
Hey, Eddie, we're here with a toy.
Sitting right here on the table.
All you have to do is touch it. See, and it makes that fun noise. Can you do that?
No. Are you angry about something?
Are you bothered that we're walking around your house? You can see us. Are there any females here with us?
Seemed like a pretty direct response there.
Yeah.
Are you a female?
Very progressive of you, Jason. Always ask for the ghost pronouns. It's reasons like this that Ghost Hunters didn't get cancelled and ran for over 16 seasons.
Are we talking with Eddie?
How about this? If you can make it beep again, we'll leave. We can leave the dining room.
Anyway, that's enough of that overused joke. Up next, we get back to the two geniuses that valued their safety so much that they couldn't open a door.
I'm in danger!
Right now, Dustin and I were rolling around the grounds here with the thermal camera. There's been reports of them seeing dogs rolling around here that fit the exact description of the dogs that lived here at the Rockwood Mansion. So we're going to just cruise the grounds and check it out, looking for animals or anything that resembles a dog and see if it actually is living or not.
Are these guys suggesting that the grounds of this place has ghost dogs? For the love of God. If a bloody door scares you two, how the hell are you going to be able to handle a ghost dog? Lucky for you, this nonsense doesn't exist.
How about this?
Oh, there's something in there.
What is it?
I heard something scamper. I didn't see anything.
I'm now starting to think that the whole reason everyone went into pairs is just so they made sure these two were paired together and they get away from everyone else. These two are like the remedial ghost hunters. You're outside at night. Now, what is very common outside at night? Yes, well done, fucking animals. Oh, don't go just yet. So, what is uncommon to find inside or outside any day or night? Yes, that's correct. Fucking ghost dogs. Jesus.
Trying to find like any little shiny eyes or anything.
Look at that. There's a little heat signature right there.
It's moving around.
It should be illegal to be this stupid on camera. Anyway, that's about as much of Tweedledee and Tweedledum as I can stomach right now. Next up, back to the two women ghost hunters.
If you know Eddie, could you touch that piece of equipment? If you know Eddie,
It's honestly a relief that when the REM pod goes off, I don't immediately hear a bunch of twats screaming, "No way, dude!" Or, "Oh my god, bro! Oh my god, bro! Bro! Oh my god, dude!" Shut the fuck up! The show doesn't stay with the women for too long, again, and then we move on to the next group.
All right, I'm going to touch it, Eddie.
Pause.
And let's see if you can do what I do. Let's see if you can do that. Oh, it's got the same pattern. I know! That is incredible. That is amazing.
I don't want to sound too pedantic, but that is clearly not the same pattern. But it is still cool that this happened all in the same cut. It doesn't look like any dodgy editing is at play here. And maybe I'm being naive, but I don't think these guys would fake the REM pod with the old walkie-talkie trick. This is actually pretty genuinely interesting.
Do it again. Let's make it really loud this time. I'm getting chills. This is crazy, man. That's great. Wow.
Am I going to say that this is a ghost? Not at all. But it is interesting that this happened for a second time, and again, without any dodgy editing cuts. So the REM pod goes off one more time, and then we jump back to Jason's team.
Let's head up.
This is the room that Mary Bringhurst died in. Mary, can you tell us if you're here?
It's really just a bunch of stores. Goes to another door. What in a friggin' like Alice in Wonderland over here? There's like 100 doors up here.
Good job those other two ain't up there. They'd have shit themselves with all those closed doors.
They flying a drone?
That's what it sounds like. Or like a computer drive that's gone bad.
No one cares! Anyway, next we get back to the entomophobic fellas, and you won't believe what they're going to do next.
All right, man. How about we go back in and see what's behind that door?
So you guys heard the door shutter. Apparently, you didn't accidentally or intentionally do it yourselves. After hearing the door shutter, you were concerned for your safety to open it, whilst at the same time, you wanted to respect the ghost by not opening the door for some bloody reason. And instead, you walked away from the door and even left the building to walk around the grounds looking for a ghost dog. And now, God knows how long after the incident happened, you want to go inside that door. For some reason now, the ghost must be okay with you going in the door. Instead of, I don't know, opening and going through that bloody door as soon as the shutter happened to investigate there and then. Best paranormal investigators ever.
Earlier in the night, Dustin and I were up in the attic area, and the door behind Dustin, the doorknob started turning like somebody was opening that door.
Well, that's new information. They didn't tell us about the door handle turning earlier.
I didn't even want to open it at that point. We were so close. We were so exposed to whatever could have been there. We want to be very respectful.
It's so dumb.
But we always have to investigate what's going on. And so we knew that at some point we're going to have to go through this door and see what's on the other side.
I honestly don't even know what to say anymore. I just don't get it. The only thing I can think of is that this is all bullshit, and the real reason they put off opening this door is to drag the drama of the show out a little bit more. To, you know, make this a much bigger deal than it actually is. The problem, I suppose, with TV compared to YouTube is that so many people have a hand in making it. Of course, you've got the stars of the show, but then you've got an editor, producers, production manager, and network executives. And they all have a hand in how these shows make it on air. The quality of these TV shows are clearly better than most ghost hunting YouTube channels. But at least with YouTube, there are far less fingers in the pie. Pretty much the vision of whatever the content creators want is what you see on screen. I'm not saying TV is better than YouTube or YouTube is better than TV. I'm just saying it's something to keep in mind while you watch these TV shows.
All right.
Well, whoopee shit.
Alright, so if anybody's still up here, we'd like to come closer. Is that okay?
Yes, another stairwell. It is, isn't it? Okay. Dude,
Dude,
on the other side of this door.
This is amazing.
Oh yes, a door that leads to stairs. Amazing.
Hey, Mary. It's all right.
You with me?
Yeah, I'm with you right here, buddy.
Jesus Christ, stop milking it! It's like you swapped your phobia of doors with bathnophobia. Oddly, this is the word for someone with a fear of stairs and not a fear of baths. Yeah, I don't get it either. It's like that would make too much sense or something. On a quick side note here, the word for someone who is scared of long words just so happens to be one of the longest words I've ever seen in my life. And honest to God, I'm actually nervous about attempting to say this word. Hippomonstros. How the f? Hippomonstros. Honestly, this is like hell on earth for a dyslexic.
Just do it!
Hippopotomonstrosis quitadelaphobia.
You've done it again, old chap.
The troll who came up with this word must be the same arsehole who made dyslexic such a difficult word to spell, or whichever twat thought it'd be funny to put an S in Lisp. I mean, to be fair, these are all pretty funny. But anyway, back to taps.
It's okay, all right? We mean you no harm.
Oh, it goes this way, it goes left, and it goes up again.
This is intense.
Okay, you're trying my patience now. Get up the fucking stairs, you pair of tits.
You want me to go first?
Oh, whoa, hold on.
Whoa. What was that?
It was weird, man. It felt like something was like pushing my head back.
I thought I saw something reach over.
Can you see him?
Dude, it is
What is it?
I don't know, man.
We want to meet you. Please just tell us who you are.
Were you the one that opened the door?
The door didn't actually open, but whatever. So anyway, after all that farting around, nothing actually happened, so I'm going to fast forward the rest of this so we can get to the two fellas who actually know how to handle an investigation.
You know, one thing I've noticed, they claim to see this apparition of a gentleman in a black jacket, the white lady. But every room has a gentleman with a black jacket.
Yeah.
Every room has a lady in white.
Yep.
I mean, do you think maybe it just catches them off guard at one point?
I like these two. Damn good point right there. Also, well done to all of those involved in the show to make sure that point stays in the episode. I can't see Zach Bagans making that much sense.
Justin, this is where they found the bones that we were just looking at, right?
Right in here.
This is the first interview I've ever done laying down with another man.
So, this is where the investigation ends, but it's not the end of the episode because there's still another 8 minutes or so to go. Ghost hunters review their footage and do an analysis of all the odd things they found in the house. Remember, I've not seen this show before, so this came as a bit of a welcome surprise. I like the idea of this. I like the idea of digging a bit deeper and looking at some of the occurrences they filmed with a critical eye.
Start with this one here.
I'm going to touch it, Eddie, and let's see if you can do what I do. Let's see if you can do that.
Right on the money.
This night, the REM pod stuff that was happening, it was extremely impressive, but to the point where it wasn't coincidence anymore.
No.
From what made it on camera in this episode, the REM pod responded 3 times on command. Now don't get me wrong, that is very interesting as I said earlier, but let's not pretend that it doesn't fall within the realm of coincidental. Something that happens 3 times can still very much be considered a coincidence. Anyway, that's all they say about the REM pod activity. They immediately move on to the next incident and only give that about 30 seconds or so to review. And before you know it, the analysis section is over. It probably didn't last more than 2 minutes. That's what she said. So I'm conflicted here. On one hand, it's great that they put this in the show, but on the other, I find it frustrating that the show dedicated such a small amount of time to it. Maybe the powers that be to make this show realize that people don't actually like the debunking analysis side of the investigation like I do, which could very well be the case. Also, we have to keep in mind that after commercials, each of these episodes lasts about 46 minutes or so. There is only so much you can fit into this short amount of time, and this is another advantage to a YouTube channel. You can make your videos as long as you want. Can't you, Colin? So next up, Jason and his daughter Samantha go back to the haunted house to talk to the owners about what they found.
We do have some neat things to show you, and we'll go from there.
People aren't in here, they find it in different places.
Kind of like a weird moan that happened. They didn't really hear at the time, but it showed up upon analysis.
Oh, come on, guys. Surely that's one of the many people stood in that room groaning. You better believe whenever I go ghost hunting, I let out a groan or two. From this clip here, I can count 1, 2, 3, 4 people, plus the cameraman. So 5 people that we can see are in this room and could easily have let out a loud groan. And I would imagine it was one of these 5 people, since that's why nobody else paid attention to it, because it clearly came from a person.
That's clear.
Yeah, it's very clear.
Yeah, almost so clear that it must have come from a living human in that room. I'm going to cut out the rest of the stuff they show the homeowner, because most of it is the same stuff that I already showed in the investigation. The groan bit was the only new footage.
What do you think of the stuff we've shown you?
I think it's really fantastic.
Definitely seems to be something with some intelligence. There also seems to be something more of a residual type.
Sort of says there's something paranormal going on here.
I wouldn't say there's anything to fear.
I really like that Jason said this. I have seen too many immature ghost hunters who scream, "Demon! Skinwalker!" over and over again with next to no evidence to back it up, and they do it just to drum up fear. For clicks and views. More of these ghost hunters need to take a leaf out of Jason's book here and to tell the property owners that there is nothing to fear in their house. For their own mental well-being, if nothing else.
April has a problem going into a certain room in an area.
Yeah, and we did check. We looked at that. We looked into that. We looked for high EMF in that room. I will say during the night, 2 of our investigators did feel like when they walked in, all the hair on their arms stood up. They felt like it was more of a charged room, but there wasn't anything we could draw from that. So it might just be the feeling you get, and that might just be your senses telling you, hey, you shouldn't be in here right now. There's something else in here.
I'm ending the video here. This is the one and only video I've ever watched of Ghost Hunters. I picked this episode randomly. I'm aware that there's more infamous episodes of Ghost Hunters where far more happens, but I wanted to get a feel of the show without getting into one of their big hitter episodes. Maybe if I do another video on Taps, I'll look into something like the St. Augustine Lighthouse episode. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see me cover that video. My honest thoughts on this show is a mixed bag. There is a fair amount of sensationalism and flat out nonsense in an attempt to drum up excitement and suspense. But when all's said and done, that's just a TV show for you, I suppose. And you need some of that in order to keep the show running for as long as it did. There was some good old-fashioned debunking in this show, far more than Ghost Adventures Almost Haunted would ever put in their TV shows. But there was also that whole door bullshit which I can't get my head around. All in all, I didn't find this quite as boring as I was expecting. And I really like that Jason at the end of this episode explained to the property owners that there's nothing for them to be fearful of. So anyway, that's the end of the video. Please comment below on what you think of Taps. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. Cheerio!
He's the one you can't deny. Bringing truth to all those fake channels of mine. With a wink and a laugh, he'll make you feel alive. Side eye, keeping it real, keeping the vibe.
Hey, SEGways!